So talking about the long lens and the wide lens perspective. So yeah, we know all the stuff, talking a lot in different tutorials, like wide angle, fisheye, stuff like that. So basically, it's a very simple thing. It's just about how much of your field of view you include into your picture. So like here showing this reference, let's show you see it's like different type of angle. So wider, more it's include of your field of view, and the longer, less it include. So it's take only this small part, like here far away. Also, it's interesting about this. When we have like less information kind of from your field of view, so it's like a long lens, then it look like this. It's like everything look like realistic proportions. So like it look more and more close to actual sizes of objects. So if you stand in their tall building, you will be like very small, like we'll see exact ratio. But if we have wide lens, then it's hard to say. Now this building very small because it's actually far from people, right? So let's say like long lens erase this feeling of space. It just shows actual proportions. So even she is far from this wall, it looks like she's close. It's like for us psychologically kind of. So you see. Okay, anyway, we'll explain it later. Same thing happened with the face. So it's like with the wide lens, we have like a nose. In this case, it's a nose. It's the closest to camera, and then we see how other sides of a head, they're like going in perspective, so it became smaller. So we see a distortion. So his actual face look like this without distortion. And with a fisheye kind of perspective distortion, it look like this. Same like this guy here. So it's with the perspective because he close to camera. So basically, again, you see it's like camera very close to face. So your head start to diminish in perspective. If camera far from your face, it look like more your real proportions. So nose doesn't look so big, and also like you see like head is not distorted. So not look like this. It shouldn't look like this. And here in one more example, dude holding bottle. So you see what is difference, like one is important difference here is just because here is camera close and here is camera far. So we don't see like a distance, right? So now we'll explain how it works. So again, let's this. We have this like fisheye field of view, but then if we zoom to this car far away, don't have like this foreshortening. It's just look very flat. Here, this car in the front look very strong perspective. These cars on the far, they almost like don't have perspective, right? So why all this happen. Okay. So as already explained before, the thing about people, let's say it's you. Woohoo. So here is your line of sight. It's like you looking somewhere. So and then your field of view will have this like hemisphere, half of a sphere. So have like top, bottom, left, right, and this front, which is your like line of view. So then we can put it, make it look like half sphere. So this line in the center, it's a horizon line, right? So this point above, point below, it's our y vanishing points. It stands for vertical lines. And this one, it's the z-axis. So this z-axis goes to this z vanishing point in center kind of this half sphere. So in this projection, this z-axis is like will be just parallel lines, but on on a paper is there converge to vanishing point. So and what happened? Like we have this half of a sphere, right? So like you have this left side, right side, top, bottom, and you have your actual field of view. So it's like this is your more like perception kind of, right? Which is also even include all sphere. So it's your perception of a space around you. Because like me, like right now, I don't see what behind me, but I seen it couple seconds before. So I know behind me is like a kitchen kind of, some stuff there, a wall, it's no parking there. It's my house still there because couple seconds ago I seen it. So in my brain I have like 3D image kind of like, which is like some kind of like a sphere because I can track angles. I can say this in front of me, this like goes little to the right, little to the right, same like totally back for me like uh, this thing Dyson was like behind or like it have certain angle like 45 angle or stuff like that. So we have this idea of directions and angles. In this is illustrated as a sphere. So and here inside this sphere, which is we have kind of in our perception of space, we have actual field of view which we see with our eyes right now in the moment kind of. And this field of view, like we have it's like central field and periphery field. So in the periphery, like here I see it's my hand kind of moving here there. I know it's my hand because I just again, it's like it's based on my experience. I just seen it, I know its color, I know its proportions, and I can feel it, right? It's my hand after all. So, but what I actually see is just movement and maybe like proportions kind of certain. So my brain is just draw it, tell me it's a hand. I see only colors and movement. So peripheral vision, it's also so much like you calculate what you actually see, when in reality you don't see details at all. So if we have in this sphere or half of sphere, you will see is like you can see left and right blurry, like without any details, like something like move on the left on the right, you like try with your hand, you can see something moving on the right, right? But we see much less of up and down. So also you can try with your hand. Like now I don't see my hand completely. Like I start to see it somewhere here, kind of, right? So here is like our visible field of view. So some certain area. And our like main field of view where we see details, like with our focus, right? Like we use this some kind of like a laser or beam of lights, or um like I don't know, like a projector kind of, right? So it's very narrow here. So it's like a cone of vision also calls, right? So that's maybe green. So like this, maybe even smaller. So it's something like in your hands, kind of this, or like you focus like attention on something, so then you see details. So then it's about human perception, right? But then if we talk about cameras like have this like screen and some this thing. So it's already limited to construction of cameras. Some cameras they can take like full sphere, like 360. Other camera they can take like 180. Other camera they will only take like say here's camera, so it can take some this area from all sphere, and take only this, or this, like depends on the camera or lens, kind of lens, yeah, lens you put on a camera. Yeah. So, and then what we also see often in this kind of explanations about long and wide lens, it's like say, like we have character. Let's say somebody standing here. Maybe I don't want to pick. So she's standing here, and I put camera like very far. So I use right now like a long lens or whatever lens. Let's say I'll explain. So what I do, I want to make photo where this character, he will be like this, like very fit. So this picture will look like this. Right? So the camera very far, and I kind of like zoom, and dude look like he is roaming full picture. It's kind of my framing, right? But I can get same um, size of him inside picture, but if I put camera very close, let's say I put camera like here, now I have this. I need to use wider lens, because if I will use same kind of lens put very close to him, I will only capture part of him, right? So to capture the same like all body size inside my frame, I need to use wider lens and put camera closer. So here's my camera. Now it's very close. So now we have kind of like same, we have guy inside picture, also like full body, like from top to bottom. But what will happen? Here question for you. What is difference? And yeah, here like I will explain is like for artists. Because for us, what we need perspective grids, and we need to understand just kind of like how space behave, how boxes behave in different perspective, right? So in the first type, when we have camera far from a guy, we will have like a flat, very flat perspective grid. It's kind of like mm, very linear, or like a very small distortion, something like, say here's horizon line about his waist area, vertical lines not converge, and yeah, we have maybe here vanishing point. So it's like kind of very simple perspective, and x-axis just parallel line, also not convergent. But when we have wide lens close to him, okay, now it's totally different story. Now it will be fisheye perspective. So now we have this horizon line here, again on his waist, have this vanishing point on his waist. In this case it will be also just this. But now we see how y-axis will be like this, curved, and x-axis will be curved. Okay, so, and a guy will be curved too. So maybe if I make look bigger example here, so this wide lens will look something like this. So now it's like same composition, kind of like he have same amount of space, kind of here, like very little space from top of frame to his head, and his leg like almost touching frame on the bottom. All change is perspective grid. So, and now he also like distorted by perspective. So we see his shoes here from top. See what I mean, right? Так, so, and imagine like in this with this lady, this reference. So on in this first frame, we have like, let's say we have building here, like this, right? So on the first picture with this long lens shot, we will see, you see how it goes, right? So how the line goes. So this line, it's the edge of a frame. So you see like how this edge of a frame, he only show us this high of a building. So we can see like maybe like front, like a sign, say like a Starbucks something. So we see on the first frame, we see a figure in a flat perspective. It's like a very static kind of perspective. So figure don't have any distortion by perspective grid. And we see kind of this building somewhere here, and we see this like sign on a building, like maybe on Starbucks. So there's some doors kind of. So still it's like very far from figure, but it doesn't feels like very far. With this guy, okay, now look where goes top of this picture. Wow. So now it's an equation, like will we even see it? Because seems like it's, yeah, guy even taller. Like you see if I make this line here, now his head is even higher than this building. So maybe if this building very wide, so it will be somewhere here behind him. So now he's taller than this building, and maybe it's kind of here. And then now we also start to see like all the city behind other buildings, some skyscrapers. We see more of a road here. Stuff like this. So it's somehow as like also you can imagine like if you look in a window, like when you are very close to window, let's see, so you can see like all your city, all this buildings everywhere, like you see like a highway, you see mountains there, many clouds, building here, cars moving on the highway. So it's like you can see everything, all your city when you stand in near window, right? And you can see even like a lot of a sky. If you're like, if take out of a window your head, yeah, you can see like what is right above you. So now you're completely outside. But if you move far from window, inside house, right? You move like corridor somewhere back far from window. So what you will see now? Now you will see like only small part of this view, like super fracture, like this, like a tonal. Like if before you see like all my head, now you see is like only only my eye. So you will see like say just like road and car here moving on the road and two buildings. See, kind of this. It will not make zoom, but just for example, just try yourself. This is see this magic. Maybe birds there will fly. Так. Yeah. So, and again, all this is just like little information for clarity to help you have better idea. And practically for us, like what is all about, you you need to understand this perspective grids. All right. So we have okay. So, and how this perspective grids works? Like when we have a fish eye, so we take more of field of view, and technically it means we're projecting this sphere, our sphere of vision. Like we have this one, right? We projecting this visible part of the sphere onto 2D surface. So we need to draw this kind of sphere in form of 2D image on a paper or in a screen if you draw, right? So if you draw all sphere, this will be 6-point perspective. 6-point fisheye. I have tutorial about this, like how to draw 6-point perspective. So it's like you have all 360 view inside your picture. If we draw only half of a sphere, which includes this left, right, front, top and bottom, so this will be 5-point perspective. 5-point perspective grid. And if you take only like this, you know, like something like if you only want to include your cone of vision, like a smaller part of this sphere, small part of a half sphere, like this. So then it will be like 1-2-point perspective. So then, like, if we talk about 3-point perspective, 3-point perspective, it will be, it's more like abstraction. It's just some kind of compromise between this 1-point perspective and fish eye. Because like actually like when you will draw like wider view, which include like 3 vanishing points, naturally it should be curved. It should be curvilinear perspective. So it's because it's kind of like a part of this 5-point perspective grid. So here I explained all this before in my videos. You need to watch my previous video. Now I will just more briefly talk about this. So to project this half of a sphere on a paper, we draw 5-point perspective grid. Right. So to look like this, like a circle. Then we have this 5 vanishing points in a circle. So this is your front hemisphere of vision. So, and if we want to include little more than this hemisphere, because sometimes, yeah, it can go little outside. So then perspective grid will go like this. So you can like draw stuff which is little outside. of perspective of this like front sphere. And here we have the axis. So here is a good example is to show why long lens is a more static. Because you see, like I explain all this time, it's huge field of view, and long lens will take only about this area here, maybe even smaller. So, and then you see like in this area, like very close to center of this field of view, vertical, it's kind of became like a straight lines. And same with the x-axis became like a straight lines, and z remain kind of conversion into the vanishing point. So we have this 1 point perspective grid when vertical straight, x straight, and we have horizon line with the vanishing point and the axis conversion into the vanishing point. So if I want 2 point perspective, right? So it will be like about this area. So same as just 2 point, it's simplifying it. So this z-axis, it makes straight lines. And this x vanishing point make also the x-axis to be straight lines. So now we have horizon line, we have this z, we have x, and it simplifies y-axis into vertical lines, like ignoring curvature kind of, right? So this is 2 point perspective. So again, it only works as a part of is like a fracture of this wide field of view. And because you do this as a small part, you can simplify it to kind of make curved line to be straight lines. It's kind of like if trying to say it simple. Same with like 3 point perspective. No, it's always kind of simplification. So we have, yeah, okay, now we have kind of like little bigger field. So we have lines instead of curve, make them be straight. So we have the y-axis lines convergent to y vanishing point. Then we have z lines make a straight and make x lines straight instead of curve. So fisheye perspective, yeah, it's kind of like more organic, more natural, more realistic. This 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective, they're more like schematic and abstract. That's why they mostly use for technical drawings, you know, like some design engineers, stuff like this. That's why I also say you don't need to focus so much on all this stuff, like how many vanishing points, like this. People keep writing me something like, oh, I see it's like 2 point perspective, it's not 3 point perspective. Who cares? For us, for artists, it's not about vanishing points and like type of perspective in these like very basic terms. All it's about, it's 3 axes. It's this y, z, and x, right? So we need establish perspective grid with these 3 axes, 3 dimensions, because we draw in 3D. So, and there all these different perspective types, It's just different setting for this 3 axis. So this how you should treat it. Only like this. To draw picture with 3D space and 3D objects, you need to deal with 3 axes. And when you kind of draw them, then you have this kind of choice of different type of settings. So you can draw like fisheye perspective. So then this XYZ, they will be like curved. Or you can draw it like long lens perspective. So then it will be like isometry or some kind of this simple perspective, like 1 point, 2 point perspective. You can draw up shot, down shot. So there's this like typical setups for XYZ in the form of perspective grids. So perspective grids, it's the only thing you should to focus about, like as artists. Okay, like not maybe only thing you should focus about, but I mean it's like this is the core of drawing in perspective. It's perspective grid. It's not like 1 point perspective or 2 point perspective or 3 point perspective. It can be 25 points perspective. Who cares, It's not in the names. It's only in the perspective grids. Okay, it's in this 3 axes. So just train this approach, train this attitude. So you learn different setups, different properties, different conditions, but it's always just 3 dimensions. And I did a lot of video about this. If you just came to my channel, I really recommend to watch them, because like I don't like to repeat, and there I tell a lot of very cool material for beginners especially. So not only beginners. So here, yeah, let's then, after all this long explanation, talk about this like 3 major type of setups of perspective. It's upshot, downshot, and kind of like center shot, let's call it. Right, so it's like we have camera looking straight. So it's like here we have character. And then we have, let's say, camera looking up. So here was straight, here is up, and camera looking down. Right, so this 3 type, let's say center, and down shot, and up shot. So to draw this kind of upshot, downshot, or center, it's just perspective grids, and also I will show you it's like long lens or wide lens. So let's say так. Так. м, Так. So again, let's draw. So we have camera looking straight. So then vertical lines, they not converge. Components is peripheral. They're just parallel. Like, it's gonna.
Who are you?
My name is Bond.
Jim Bond.
Just think this way will be better. So, okay, here we have like camera looking straight. So, vertical lines, they're not convergent. It's long lens. So, kind of this, right? So, camera straight is a long length. Object is far from camera, not close to it. So, let's say. And it should be here on the ground. So in this case, we will have this kind of perspective grid. Yes, the then we have like camera looks up. Same is like pretty long lens. Now it's kind of leaning on the ground. And we will have, okay, like this character. So in this case, yeah, we have like a very low horizon line, and this kind of look like 3-point perspective, kind of. So we have convergent vertical lines, convergent y-axis below and twain, and have just parallel x-axis. And z again still converge like 1-point perspective into vanishing point. And here we have down shot with a long lens. So let's be this horizon line now. Horizon line is high here, and vertical lines now convergent downwards. X still just parallel. So it's kind of this simple. This vanishing point. So let's say here is our character. Так. Hello, ape shape. Okay. So you see, it's like we have like perspective kind of foreshortening, but very slight. So our character is not like super changing his proportions and perspective. When it's standing straight like this, it's totally flat, kind of. But then when it's like upshot, we see him like little bit converging upwards. So it's like upshot. This is downshot. Just a little bit. And then here it can be even more extreme. So we can make it even more flat. So this, like, imagine if it's kind of like we have maybe same camera here, but it even look like either somewhere like very, very far. So we have like very far some people standing, and like we have like helicopter, maybe, or satellite. Yeah, some kind of, let's say, helicopter flying with a camera, and he have some camera kind of making video of some people on the ground. And let's say with an upshot, kind of upshot will be look kind of same. Okay, I think maybe let's say, okay, maybe camera is on the ground and make video somebody standing on the top of a building. Right, so it's like from a ground make video. So you see, it's like camera is super far, very far away from object. So to make it visible in the frame, it should be zoom, right? We should apply zoom. So, and this how we get these frames like isometry, when there is no foreshortening, no convergent lines, they just parallel all three axes. So let's say no, it cannot be parallel in this setting, but let's see what I mean. Так. It's just так. Yeah, in the central we still will have like the vanishing point with convergent lines, but later we'll draw some more objects, so you will see difference. But on this one, so we have this down shot, like a drone shot. So vertical lines is vertical, and the Z will be like this kind of parallel for Z and parallel for X. Same way for upshot, we have just parallel vertical lines and some parallel, let's see, like this. So you can play around actually, like you see, just have this X and Z. You can draw Z like this, or you can draw Z like this. All about is just like make sure they're parallel. So like I say, okay, here is like edge of a building. So we have some guy kind of standing here. Let's see. With a bazooka. And there's some other guys. And there may be like helicopter flying. And here somebody in a window also is like, and here maybe some like stuff on a roof. Some other building here. You can see rooftop. Another like maybe skyscraper on the background. And here's like a down shot. This kind of drone view is like typical for Akira. We see a lot in Akira. I make these videos also in like about breaking down Akira perspective. So here can be some people, some vehicles. Let's see. Open door here. Like this. Doors. And here's somebody like leaning on the ground. It's like, maybe it's like corner of building here. Stuff like that. There's some a zebra. crosswalk. Cool. Thank you, Ape Shape. Very cool. And the other card, stuff like this. So you see, it's kind of interestingly very simple perspective grid for this kind of angle. Так. So here, back to this. So difference between like absolutely like long, super crazy long lens and not so far long lens will be just, you know, like with how it feels like, I don't know how to say. So it should, like, if it feels like flat or there is foreshortening. So let's say I have this guy standing here and then I have some guy here far from him, like walking maybe, right? So three character here, and maybe here's like building corner kind of this. This building. And then it's like pedestrian zone, some like a zebra, stuff like that. So it's just we have more like change in proportions. When with this one, it will look like, let's say, they'll be look like they cut from paper. So have like one guy here, second guy here. So it should be like a zero of depth. Then we have like I don't know. Like this guy, he's closer to us, but look weird like this. So this kind of very flat space, like we don't see any distance. Maybe even actually I don't need to draw this as the vanishing point here. Yeah. Так. So usually, they draw it just like a picture with a group of people, like a group photograph, something. It's like a very flat space. And here maybe like we have car like this. Just everything is flat. And buildings there on the background, they all flat. Так. So it's kind of isometry perspective. Так. So, and then if we draw same but with a fisheye, we will have this fisheye perspective grids. Так. Yeah, so this kind of thing also you can there is a structure of perspective and there is composition. So how you compose perspective grid in your picture is also like element of composition. And the kind of perspective is also a tool of composition tool, we can say. Так, where's the shot? Yeah, here. Так, so let's see. Now it's like fish eye. So, like I showed before, if we have camera, look straight, it will be kind of this. And we have horizon line this way, with the vanishing point. And now Y perspective grid, Y axis will converge. So will be curvilinear. Extent of curvilinear, like how much it's curved, it's kind of up to you. Yeah, it's like if it's less curve, so it means it's like more less extreme wide angle. So it's like more far, more in the center of this 5-point perspective grid. So it's like we have this again like 5-point perspective grid. So you see this curvature of y and x axis. It's like farther from center, more curved, this curvature. Closer to center, more flat it is, right? So if if you make curved perspective with not so strong curvature, so it means like your frame is in more to center of a 5-point perspective grid, or like center of your whole field of view, like, or like sphere of space perception. And if you draw like super curved, okay, so it means like you just include more space from this sphere of vision. Mm. So same with x. And now, like, it's kind of interesting. So you actually you can draw 3-point perspective, or you can draw this upshot as kind of like curved 3-point perspective, or you can draw it like perspective grid with a curved horizon line. And so this would look very different. So let's say we draw with a upshot with a curved horizon line. So we have this Z vanishing point here. We go like this. And then X, let's do Y first. So here will be like Y vanishing point, and it will go curved like this. And then we will have X axis go like this. And with downshot, it will be opposite. So we have now horizon line curved opposite direction. So it's like we're looking to the ground. Z vanishing point, Z axis, Y vanishing point. And the X axis like this. So now let's say we have character like this. Here, like I showed before, we have character like curved to the top and down at the same time. And here, let's say. So it's like downshot, upshot. Also we can do it like 2-point perspective. So let's see. So we have horizon line here. Then we have it's like z vanishing point will be here, and x vanishing point will be here. Y-axis will be like this. So what we will have this like same like y-axis in the centers, and it start to get curved. And what is important, it's you need to make first curvature go through z and x. So then you can draw this in between, and outside. And now when you draw z axis, what you do is like from point z vanishing point, this z-axis will be merged with this y-axis. You see, so it's kind of trick here. This is why you need to follow this sequence. First you draw this y-axis going through this vanishing points, because then you start from this as merging. So what we have, z-axis merge with this curve of y-axis, and also with horizon line. So it's making this cross. So we have like here is curved, here is straight from this vanishing point. And then here we have in between. And this line, this curvature of the in between will go like in a 5-point perspective when we have x. So here's it. Yeah. So when we like you see have in the center this point, and we have x go above z like this to other x, right? From one vanishing point to other vanishing point above, same like y go around this z like this. It can get through, but then it start to go around. So it's like if ellipse will have this vanishing point in the center. So it's like this peaks will be exactly at the vanishing point. Hope it's clear. So you see, so it's mean like here this curvature is like going out, 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 out. Here it's a maximum out point, it's right above x vanishing point, and then I start to going back close to horizon line. Like this. Conversion should be like a peak, it's a near vanishing point. And all this one too. So it's go out, 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 about x vanishing point, and start to return. So, and here we have this curve. You just draw in between these lines. Same opposite. Up, return. Up, 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 and return after x. Up, and here kind of. So, and then one more trick of this perspective grid is like you see here we have straight line, here we have this curve which merge with the y-axis. Now you need to draw in between. You like make transition from straight to this curve. So have straight, curve, in between, and then again in between, in between. Here straight curve, you draw in between, in between, in between. This how you build this z axis here. So it seems like only channel you can learn this It's here. I don't see it anywhere else. You will not find it. Like complex fisheye perspective made easy for freehand. So you can use just your hands. You don't need any ruler. You don't need to be like professor of architecture or some like concept artist with 100-year experience. You just watch one of my tutorial and you understand it. Easy explanation. Take a long time for me to make it easy. So this is same kind of like we have wide angle camera on like a center level without up or down shot, but it's like 2-point perspective grid. Why? What is mean 2-point perspective grid for this? It's mean like it's object rotated 45 angle degree. So like our character kind of he's standing with a 45 angle rotation. See? And same whatever objects here will be, like vehicles, all they kind of in a 45 angle. Buildings. Motorcycles. Again, zebra crossing and stuff like that. So then we can draw 2-point fisheye perspective with like upshot and downshot. So again, like how we'll look upshot here. Select curved horizon line. Then we have y axis, y vanishing point. Then we have the z vanishing point and x vanishing point. And same like before, you see is like, yeah, but be better start with the y. It's like you draw this curve going through this z and x. You can then just extend this y-axis. So then how z goes? It goes like this, and here you see it's kind of all merged with this y-axis. Then here we will have like straight line at certain point. This why it works with borders. So we have a frame here. It's not so like close perspective grid, like 5-point perspective. So, and then we have this, and then it go like this. To start to draw X grid. So now X same as going through Y. Then we have straight line. It's kind of intersect this Z. And then in between here, like this. So then we have character. Maybe many characters. So can make building here, building there. Here and there. So, yeah, and same for down shot. We have this horizon line curved. Then we have Y vanishing point, Z vanishing point, and X vanishing point. Yeah, then we have like go like this. Z go like this, and X go like this. So in here, yeah, forget to mention this thing, like z-axis go and merge with this y curve axis going through y vanishing point, and also you make this straight line here in between. So in the middle, between this curvature and this curvature, it's a straight line. Same with z. Have this curvature when it goes through y vanishing point, this curvature of merging with horizon line, and then it will be like straight line in the center, which like eventually they intersect in the same point with the x and y axis. So this point of intersection, it's kind of your direction of sight, like kind of camera direction. So in this case, you see like our camera looking below horizon level, below eye level, below horizon line. So we can say also like this distance between this direction point and y-axis is kind of also telling us about which angle it is. So it's like 35 maybe angle kind of, so it's, or 40, yeah, about 40, almost 45, because it's almost in between kind of here. So then once you establish this stuff, now you can just draw all these lines in between like this. Then in between this curve and this curve will be this, and then again subdivide, and will be here. Same with x. You just subdivide here, extend here, subdivide here. And the y, we have already this curve, this straight, subdivide here, and here's also like here, subdivided. So now have this guy here. Some dude here. And then black bar and buildings. So once you have perspective grid, you can draw anything you want. they can fly. So maybe here, let's say they're standing, and it's gap. So here actually we see other buildings like rooftops. So, oh, very high. Так, okay. So today conversations just difference between fish between like long and wide lens. So if you want to learn more, watch my previous video, or you can get my mentorship. So I have a link. We'll write here a link to my website. So you can anytime you can improve very fast with my mentorship. Like depend on your level. But if you already like have some experience, like you're drawing illustrations or comic books, and you just want to improve your perspective, I think I can teach you in 2 months. Yeah, so in 2 months you will be like about 8 classes. You will be able to draw stuff in all these perspective grids, rotate, understand all this 3D logic. First of all, is just you will get like very clear, complete understanding of 3D space and how to draw in 3D as an artist, not just some kind of designer. Так, where's the link? Oh, okay, here's the link. Thank you and see you next time.
Madness. This is
Gene Bond Art.